I think it's a man's nature to want multiple women to a degree. But I will also, I think it's a boy's nature, right? Because the truth is, look, human beings evolve. Just because that's what it was 1,000 years ago doesn't mean that's necessarily what it needs to be now, right? There's evolution. And at the end of the day, I always say a king with no discipline is a weak man with luxuries. A man without discipline is not a man.
You had that in one of your shows, didn't you?
That in a shirt. Yeah. That was in your. I'm gonna put that on a shirt.
I wrote that in. I don't remember which one.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
You know, and that's a king without discipline is nothing but a weak man with luxuries.
Ooh. I mean, I totally agree. And the thing is that that's also, I also think that 100% applies to women.
Of course.
You know, but again, we always go back to like.
But women aren't held to discipline anymore.
I think that
might be right.
Because everything a woman does is okay. A woman can literally sleep with a man's brother and they're gonna go, "Oh, you mad?"
But I also think that I think it's the same case for both sexes personally.
No, it's not. Because they're going to say that man is a piece of shit. Right, and they're going to say she got her lick back. That's what they're going to say.
No. I'm saying, what I'm saying is that I think your issue with it, I think it applies to both sexes.
No, I think it definitely applies. But what I'm saying is I don't think society holds both sexes accountable anymore. I think men are held accountable. And men are looked at as trash. Listen.
I think what happened in that situation is Betty was at home rotting for 10 years and her man was outside making 10 children.
Thank you.
And so now women have come to this point where it's just like, no
This is what I'm going to tell you.
That's what happened.
Right?
Bettys are tired.
There is a bar set. There is a bar set for what it means to be a man. Right? If they say, what is it to be a man? They're going to say provide, protect. If you say, what is it to be a woman? There is no bar. A woman cannot cook or clean. She cannot nurture, she's still considered a man. Because that is the reality. That is what society has created. There is no bar set anymore. Because you know what they're going to, if a man goes, she doesn't cook or clean. Oh, you're a misogynist. She's not your slave. That's what they're going to.
What men are saying is they can buy everything and that they'd rather go to another country and buy their cheap wife. Because they don't want to be good men.
If we're going to be totally honest, there is no longer a bar set for a woman. You know, I had a conversation.
I've never heard that.
I had a conversation not too long ago, right, where I said, you know, why are there no responsibilities that is the woman and the woman's only, right? For instance, why is there no responsibility that you take pride in? And what I mean by that is, if we go out on a first date and you attempt to pay, I'm offended.
Why?
Because that is my role. That is my job, right?
People don't feel that way.
But wait.
Yeah, you're from a different generation.
Hold on. Most men, let's be honest. We're not going to talk about the exception. We're not going to treat the exception like it's the rule, right? There are responsibilities that are mine and mine only, right? Whether it's paying the majority of the bills, taking out the garbage, whatever it is. But guess what? I can cook, I can clean, I can take care of the kids, I can babysit. You won't be offended by me doing any of this. Any. Why are there no responsibilities that you take pride in?
I think there are.
Yeah, I think so.
I think there are.
But that's your experience, though, because in my household, I am the one that does the cooking and the cleaning. So that's your experience.
But if he cooked,
my man has never, ever had to touch the stove.
But if he did, would you be offended?
I would be like, get out of my kitchen. What are you doing?
You'd be like shocked. You'd be like, what you doing?
Would you feel like less of a woman if he did?
I don't think he would feel like less of a man if I paid for one of his dinners either, though. So I think it's just like the
truth is, it's to the point where there was a word created for it. It's called emasculation. If a woman tries to do a man's responsibilities, she is emasculating
him. But I think that it should be that way, though. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
but
saying
that's not for all men, though. I feel like
I think
there are no absolutes. We're talking to the way that.
But you have to think about it. Y'all is two different generations. Mm-hmm. So the way you perceive the world is
yeah, I can agree to that.
Totally different. So like somebody in her generation, a dude would be like, "Well, we going
at dinner." But
guess what? You do realize that this is a result of feminism and women's independence. So y'all got what y'all asked for.
Who is we?
Y'all got what y'all asked for. Wait.
What's your definition of feminism?
White women?
Wait. Let me tell you something. Chivalry existed. Men paid for all the bills and men paid for dinner. Do you know why? Because women couldn't work. Y'all asked for independence.
Who is y'all? Black women was always working.
Hold on.
Thank you. No, Thank you. Thank you.
Black women was always working. So don't keep doing that to us. Y'all always saying y'all asked
in the home. Y'all didn't have jobs that y'all didn't have jobs that y'all were paid for.
What?
Being at home is worse. These kids is crazy.
Okay. Now we're moving the goal. Let's listen. Let's so y'all asked for independence. Y'all asked for equal pay. Now y'all got equal.
Ask for independence.
Wait.
That's not what feminism is.
Wait. Y'all got equal pay, but y'all still want men to carry the brunt of the work.
We don't have equal pay.
So which one is it?
We don't have equal pay.
Which one? I'm just asking which one.
You're saying factually, like these
what
things.
What we're doing right now is playing semantics.
No, listen, no. We're not playing semantics because at the end of the day, women. I think it's some Ledbetter case. It was some law. It came into play, whatever, during Obama's time. Obama was recently a president. Right? That's my generation. It ain't my mama. It ain't my granny. It ain't right. And women still are not paid equally. So really, I want you to understand that's not what feminism is. Feminism is about having equal opportunity, just like black people wanting equal opportunity.
That's what feminism was, but what has it turned to? What has it become?
But do you know
that's
why?
It's not,
But do we ever talk about
y'all can't have y'all. Listen, what I'm saying is y'all can't have y'all cake and eat it too.
Okay.
Y'all want men. Y'all want men to be traditional while y'all are no longer required to be traditional. I'm sorry.
And I don't think that's right.
Yes, it does not work that way. That's what feminism is. Men continue to pay the bills. Men continue to pay for
and
dinner.
be shitty individuals.
But yeah, listen.
Shitty individuals.
You know what feminism is? Let's remove the responsibility off of women's backs, but leave the responsibility on men's. That's what it is.
That's your perspective, and I have to respect it.
That is my
I'm not
perspective.
a man.
Yeah, you don't have to agree.
I'm not a man, so I don't know how it feels.
Guys. Words have meaning.
Yes, they do.
We can't just say that feminism is whatever you're saying or whatever you're saying.
Right.
There is an actual definition of feminism. And Marie is going to tell us in a second. But at the end of the day,
she said, I am.
Feminism
are just words.
Okay. Oh, words are just words.
Words are just words to a degree because guess what? Men these days are women.
That's what we're trying
What's
to tell
the difference?
you. So
But they're not women.
All my life.
So what? Words are words.
No, you just contradicted this because that's the problem that we're having. Traditional for who? We haven't had traditional for so long. These men are literally bickering with us about everything.
I'm not speaking traditional by societal standards.
You are.
I'm not speaking traditional by societal standards. I'm speaking traditional by the way God designed us. And this is what we need to understand. When I say traditional,
women are doing it all. I just want you to know that.
Women are doing it all.
They're doing it all. They're literally working, taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, taking care of the bills, taking care of the cooking, taking care of this, taking care of that.
And
the
working.
Man comes home and he was like, wants his foot rubbed, and now he's upset.
And at what point do you hold yourself? And at what point? Wait. And at what point? And at what point do you hold yourself accountable for choosing that man?
That's the point I'm making too.
I don't understand.
But no,
wait
you guys
a
are getting
minute.
upset because women are not choosing the man that they have to go 50-50 with. So when I say I want a man that takes care, no, I'm not saying you. We're not talking about you. I want to get a belt.
No, I'm just saying. But at what point?
Wait a minute now.
Who got the belt?
But at
Whoop
what
his
point?
ass.
At what point do you hold yourself accountable? If you're saying women are doing this, okay, and hold yourself accountable for the fact that that's the man that you chose.
Let me show you right now.
You're right, though.
I want you to read the comments right after I say this. I want a man that provides and takes care of all of my bills and is going to make sure that I don't have to lift a
Are you a child?
You see what I'm saying?
What?
See what I'm saying?
Exactly. No.
No, wait a minute.
No, you literally.
You twerk.
You literally just like proved your point.
Lord. Oh my God.
That ain't gonna be aired.
And that's the thing. You don't even realize you just proved my point.